Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Guess what I have here? It's body harness time. So I'm gonna give you guys a little recap of what happened when I first took out this body harness. So this was just last year when I first took it out and I found out how bad it was, and you guys even seen that this harness was completely butchered. Then a couple days after that, I took it to Kaizen Motorsports to get it inspected, and he did confirm that it was just in really bad shape, and he doesn't recommend any part to really be used, just besides the connectors, of course, because the wiring condition was like pretty bad. And then some of this wiring here, actually, at some point, the previous owner, when they ran the car with this, you know, spaghetti speaker wire to run that fuse box in the trunk, it actually had fire marks on it. So I think at some point it even was going to catch fire. So after that, I just didn't touch the harness anymore. You know, I just kind of left it as is, and I was a little bit terrified, and I just started working on other things for the Supra. So now fast forward, we are here today. A couple of days ago, I just laid it all out. I started learning a little bit more about how to identify the wires and where's the placement of, you know, all of the parts that actually connect to this harness, because I don't know anything, but I do know just a little bit more. So I'm going to try to make this video a little bit detailed, because I know that this is gonna help somebody out that is probably, you know, struggling through the same thing, or in the future, if you guys ever come across like a harness. I think these harnesses not only apply for the 1994 Mark IV Supras, but I think the 96 as well. I will get you guys that accurate information down in the description box below. But yes, so I don't know exactly where I'm gonna go with this. I don't even know if it can be restored, but today we're about to find out, and we're gonna start by identifying the entire harness, and then we're gonna take it all out. We're gonna unwrap all of this, and then we're gonna go from there, okay? But I'm not going to lie, guys, I am set on rebuilding the harness, and I think that would be really cool, and I think hopefully that can happen. So we'll see. I am a visual learner, so I definitely needed to lay these two out, and that is what helped me get this part started, of knowing where these connectors belong to. But I am not running these. So this is the OEM S1 headlight and then the washer tank, but I'm not running those. But yeah, this helped me a lot. But I will say major shout out to Tuan, because he helped me with identifying most of these, and then there were some that I was still, or we were both still a little iffy about, so then I reached out to Eric and he helped me out a lot. Now there are still some that we're still not sure about, so I will definitely identify those using the wiring diagram in the manual book as soon as I open everything up. But I'm gonna just show you guys the connectors and kind of what I laid out, and hopefully that can help you guys if you guys are going through this as well, you know, or have a similar issue with your 1994 Toyota Supra body harness. So I just want you guys to see a good visual of this and how it looks like. Don't forget that this is supposed to be here, because all of this wouldn't be pre-existent. This is just all what they did after. But yeah, so all right, let's show you guys. Driver's side headlight, high beam, fog light, turn signal. Look at this. The washer tank sensor, wheel speed sensor, turn signal, ground. Right here, dead smack in the middle between driver's side and passenger side, we have ambient air temp sensors. Right there, horn, headlight, horn. Not sure what this is, gotta figure this out. I'll get back to you guys. Turn signal, high beam, we have fog light, we have ground, we have side marker, junction block number 5, which is for the ABS relays, alternator cable, ABS actuator. So this plugs right up into the sidewall fuse box, and they are labeled in the manual book according to the systems that they control. So for example, this one IB6, and this one controls the ABS system. Over here is IB5, and this one too also controls the ABS system. This one for the AC system, just a single connector. And not sure what this is, but they rerouted it with different colors. So, and then we have these hook up to the junction block that goes right underneath the fender liner on the driver's side. So we have like IB1, so ABS system, IB2, ABS system, IB3, and then 1A for the ignition switch, and then 1B. Now time to pull this apart. Oh my gosh. Oh. You guys want to see some nude wires? Look at that. Everything is stripped, labeled, and accounted for. Guys, there was just a lot of back and forth work because I needed to make sure that whatever I was going to remove was going to be a permanent removal, because I know that it's just not going to be as easy to like wire things in later. And then also just to make sure that I trace back each wire and then I figure out if it's connected to something that I'm probably going to need in the future, or if I have to like reroute something, then kind of like get that figured out now, you know, rather than like later. I still had a lot of understanding to do, and I still had to like, you know, make sure and do like a lot of research. So extensively for the past couple of days, I did a lot of research, and I also made the final decision of running AC, because I live in SoCal and I know that I say I'm not gonna run AC now, but then I'm gonna look back at this time and then I'm gonna be like, why didn't I just stick with running AC? I mean, I don't have the stuff right now, but I know that I can get the parts later and then just kind of add that into the build. I mean, I'm still probably like, what, like 58% into the build. But so that's just the thing. Now, everything that is labeled in blue that you see here is the stuff that I am going to delete. But I was very confused as to, okay, I'm gonna keep the AC high pressure dual switch. I'm gonna keep it intact, right? But I'm gonna delete wires to connectors that I'm not gonna use. So let me show you guys and then I'll explain a little bit more about that. This is a switch for the AC. Now this connects to the lines and then it pretty much gives a signal if it's low pressure or high pressure, if it turns it on or off. So the thing is that we have one main wire here, this black and white one, which connects to the ground. And then we do have this one that is cut blue and yellow that connects to that IB6. Then we have this one over here, which is like a purple, magenta, and red color. And that one hooks up to that connector all the way over there, which is for the coolant water temp switch. And then we do have this blue one. And if we trace that one all the way back through, that one connects to the radiator relay. Now, I am not running the factory radiator or fans, so I'm not gonna need that relay. So I'm gonna delete that. Gonna delete that wire, and then I'm gonna also delete that water temperature switch over there. So not gonna need those. I'm also gonna delete that blue and black and then that white and black radiator fan connector right there, and then that blue and black, white and black over there for the condenser fan. So those are a couple of the things that I am deleting. And the thing is that I was just so curious, like, okay, well then how is this gonna turn on? How is it gonna turn off, right? Like, where is it getting its power from? And I had to do the research, and I realized that the refrigerant pressure within the AC system, that's actually what activates the AC pressure dual switch. So it's not powered through the electrical system, so I don't have to worry about it, you know, not getting power from anywhere. But then I was wondering, okay, so then how does it send the signal to the AC condenser? Because the AC condenser does not connect to the body harness. It is connected and directed by the engine harness. But the way that it actually receives the signal, it's from the EA1, because these two connectors over here connect to the engine harness, and then that's how it'll distribute like the rest of the signals and then get signals from like the ECU. So I also didn't show you guys earlier in the first clip what these connectors were. So EA1, this is how it looks like. And then we have EA2. And then we do have track actuator, which is this one of the connectors that I'm gonna delete as well. Not gonna need that because I'm not running the track pump. That's for the track pump. I'm not gonna run these. There was also another thing that I did not show you guys earlier, and that was this one. So this connector over here is for the brake fluid level switch. It'll just indicate the fluid level on the brake master cylinder. And then the front wiper motor, which I don't have the connector for it. This is just how it came inside the Supra, but this is the color of the wires. And last but not least, let's see. Yes, we're gonna get back to this little guy over here. So the engine HUD courtesy switch, which is like so interesting, but that's how this looks like. That's what this is. And then last one, this is for the theft horn. And this one was paired up like right here, right next to the ABS. Which is locked. So I need to find these two wires. 6, 7, 8. The yellow is 10. And right here too. Nice. And I'm gonna do this one. There we go. Beautiful. Nice. All right. Oh. There we go. So I'm still gonna organize it, lay it out, but ABS, track pump, and then track actuator all together. We did it. We successfully deleted all of the necessary wires from the harness. Look at how empty it looks, and look at the pile of wires. Oh my gosh. The harness looks pretty good. It looks so much more cleaner. Let's show you guys in depth. Yeah, it looks a lot cleaner. The only thing is I am gonna have to reground the brake fluid reservoir switch because this was connected to the wiper blade motor. So I'm gonna have to reground that and connect it here. And I'm gonna do the fuse box tomorrow morning because it's a little bit too late already. So I gotta open that up and then just check whatever was wired in from the ABS relay. There were a couple of things that were wired in directly to this and also the front wiper blade motor. So I gotta take those out and then just kind of like label everything there. I wanna show you guys something very important. Since I took all of that stuff out, there's only one break point, and it's this area right here. Only break point. And if I were to restore it, then I'd have to reroute that ground there, redo the ground on the other side, and then redo the alternator cable. So there's no break point there. It's just like all directly from this point all the way to the back, which makes it just, you know, one clean, solid assembly. I haven't decided yet, but In the terms of restoring it, I mean, the less break points that the harness has, it is a lot better, and there's only one. Now, wiring is very expensive. So I was on Pro Wire earlier, and one roll, because they only sell 100-foot minimum, and I would need high quality mil spec wire if I were to want to like redo this thing. So one roll of like 20 gauge wire is like, you know, 60, 70 bucks. And it depends on the color. The rarer the color, the more expensive it is. So that's pretty pricey, you know, and you know, I haven't decided yet. So still wondering what route I should take. What do you guys think? Now, I did accept a partnership from TikTok, and it was for these solar stick connectors. And it's pretty cool because it's a heat shrink tube. There's a little bit of solder in the middle. It still provides a good connection, and it's very conductive. So there's either that route, there's the old school route with the solder gun, or crimping too, which, I mean, as long as the job is done correctly and everything is checked and all the connectors are checked to be conductive and everything is just, you know, done like if it were to be done at a professional shop, then technically there wouldn't really be too much for me to worry about as far as like, you know, something catching on fire. So it's just like those thoughts, and I'm thinking to myself like, okay, well, this is, you know, what it is, and then these are the options that I have, and like, what route should I take, right? Because if I overspend on the engine, or sorry, on the body harness, I also do have to factor in getting the engine harness, and then that's going to delay the process just like, you know, a little bit longer. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to conclude this vlog. Stay tuned for more, and then I'll keep you guys updated. But let me know what you guys think in the comment below. Thank you and have a great night. Bye.